Cookbook. I'm back with another video, and today is part 18 of the Alan Jackson Who Says He Can't Cook It All cookbook series. And today is, well, I forget the name of it completely, but I'll put it on the screen right now. Let's get it.
Get a little traffic. Optimist. I'm Alan Jackson, and I'm another voice against violence. Every day in America, 14 people under the age of 20 are killed by a gun. In a recent survey, 39% of kids said they knew someone who'd been killed or injured by a gun, and 60% said they knew where to get a gun. We're losing an entire generation to violence. Violence doesn't solve a thing. Think about it.
Oh, I've been working all weekend, I'm tired and I don't want to sleep and I want to have fun. Time for a good time. Where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's gone country. Look at them boots. Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me.
One down-home favorite welcomes another to town.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie-coochie.
Miller Lite presents Alan Jackson live in concert.
But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living in
Miller Lite and the Alan Jackson Tour, where great taste meets great music.
That's right.
When you see as much of the road as I do, man, it's as simple as black and white. So come on, folks, please think when you drink.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man for a country. Look at that truck.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Oh, Miller Lite, I like it like that. Now I'll ask Sally and I'll ask Sue. We're gonna rock away all our blues. Come on.
Only Miller Lite can bring together great taste and great music. Clint Black and Alan Jackson, two great tours brought to you by one great beer. Miller Lite, it's everything you want a beer to be.
Oh, Miller Lite, I like it like that.
Well, if I had money, I'd tell you what to do. Go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. I'm crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
It's good music, and I think it's just a nice place and a time for us to do it.
Oh, I've been working all weekend, I'm tired and I don't want to sleep and I want to have fun. Time for a good time. Where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's gone country. Look at them boots. Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me.
One down-home favorite welcomes another to town.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie-coochie.
Miller Lite presents Alan Jackson live in concert.
But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living in
Miller Lite and the Alan Jackson Tour, where great taste meets great music.
That's right.
When you see as much of the road as I do, man, it's as simple as black and white. So come on, folks, please think when you drink.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man for a country. look at that truck.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Oh, Miller Lite, I like it like that. Now I'll ask Sally, and I'll ask Sue. We're gonna rock away all our blues. Come on.
Only Miller Lite can bring together great taste and great music. Clint Black and Alan Jackson. Two great tours brought to you by one great beer. Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Oh, Miller Lite, I like it like that.
Well, if I had money, I'd tell you what to do. Go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. Crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck.
That should
I'm gonna
be
buy me a
fine.
Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
A lot of great acts on there. It's good
And I
music,
hope,
and
because I've been doing that for over 25
I think it's
years.
just a nice place and a time for us to do it.
And now it is our honor to present the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award to Alan Jackson.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all singing too. That was nice. Country music's been real good to me, and I fell in love with it when I was a young man. I really loved the instruments, the steel guitars and the fiddles and things like that gave it such a unique character to me and made it its own. And I love the lyrics and the songs and the artists and the melodies and the harmonies. And it's just real American music to me. And I one night watching television, and this movie came on about the life of Hank Williams, and it just really inspired me. And I came to Nashville with nothing. Gary's talking about 3 chords and the truth. Mine was more like 3 chords and a prayer. But hung in there. The prayer got answered a little bit. But anyway, so I've just been such a fan of this music, and I wanted to come to Nashville and try to carry it on the kind that I loved. And thinking as my mama would say, I'm so blessed, and I have been so blessed. And I've had a great team around me my whole career that have helped me, and great songwriters, and just I've been so fortunate to have all that to help me get this far. And I can't thank everybody that's been in my life all these years, but I do have to say thanks to my wife Denise over there somewhere. And we started out as teenagers, and she's hung in there and rode this roller coaster ride with me for 40-something years now. And I'm probably not always the easiest person to love, but she's hung in there and helped me through hard times, and we've shared great times, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad. We've survived a lot, and I just want to thank her because she's held me up all these years, and she's my best friend, and she gave me a wonderful family over there. So thanks again to the CMA and all the wonderful fans I've had all over the world. Appreciate y'all. And radio and all the parts of country music that have been so good to me all these years. I've definitely lived the American dream, and let me have that award, gal. And I'm still living that honky-tonk dream, y'all.
This is pretty sacred space for country music, and I know you were on this stage before. What's it like to be here on this stage?
Well, I mean, this is like I think I said the day they put me in here that this was for a country singer and songwriter. It's just top of the mountain. That's what it is. It's hard to believe that I'm part of this.
Yeah. And it does, there's something about walking in here where you can feel that. You can feel like that it's almost the holy place for country music. When you were little, did you always want to do this? Could you imagine, you know, being in the Hall of Fame and having all these years performing?
Oh, no way. I had no idea. I just grew up, you know, real rural and in a small town, and I really didn't have any thoughts of even singing or how you could even do that. You know, there wasn't a lot of live music around our little town, and just kind of church stuff is what I grew up on.
Mm-hmm. I read something you just said in an interview that I liked so much. You said you love performing because you can hear everybody singing your music, and this is your quote. You said, you know that your music has really touched people.
Yeah, that's true. I've never been a real want to be in the spotlight kind of performer. I'm more of a singer-songwriter guy, and you know, I've been doing this for a long time, so I've been everywhere 100 times, and it gets to be a job and a routine, and sometimes you feel like a machine, but you know, it never fails when you walk out there and have a good crowd, and they're, you know, one lady's holding up a sign that this is her 33rd concert she's been to, and another one, little boy this tall, says this is our first, holding up a sign, this is my first concert. And then they're holding up signs of different songs that have meant something in their life, you know, and from Living on Love, and then of course Where Were You, people, you know, I look out there and people are crying, and yeah, there's a lot, you know, 5 o'clock somewhere in Chattahoochee, come on, everybody's having a big time. So I've always done, the country music to me has always been just, you know, a mixture of everything. Mm-hmm. Most songs are about love or heartache, but you know, country's always had everything in between, fun songs and songs about all about your life, and that's what I've sung about and written about my whole career, and that's one of the things I like the most about country music. So when you walk out there and see people affected by your music, it's endearing. It means something. Yes. Well, I mean, you don't know it, but my third date with my husband was singing along to your music, and I was like, okay, he's probably a keeper. Good. I might have to marry him, and I did. And you know, when we listened to Remember When, the thought of falling in love and hearing the little feet, you know, in the hallway now that we have little kids. Yes, ma'am. It means something. Yep, it's a lot of life in some of those songs that I've written, that I've experienced along the way. And you've been married for 40 plus years. 40 plus something, yeah. Have 3 grown kids. Yes, ma'am. So when you write about them, it must be extra meaningful. Yeah, I mean, I've seen my music, you know, follow all the different chapters of my life, and it's like this new album. There's a song on there I wrote from my mama when she passed away a couple of years ago, and then I wrote one on there when my first daughter got married. Maddie, she asked me about the father-daughter dance, you know, and if I'd write a song, and I said, well, I'll try to write something. That's tough, but I said, but if I write something, I told all 3 of the girls, this is the one for all 3 of y'all's wedding. I don't want to have to write 3 of them. So I did, and we've used it for Maddie's wedding, and then for my middle daughter, Allie, whose her wedding was last year. And matter of fact, she's on some wedding magazine today. It just came out or something. She's on the cover with her wedding thing. Pretty cool. And so that song ended up on this album. But, you know, life always seems to you know, bring something around that I want to write about that makes sense, and a lot of times it's a subject that other people have lived and relate to. Yeah. Is it true that you still get nervous when you get up on stage to perform? Do you still get the butterflies, or you're used to it? I'm not as bad. I mean, I was pretty shy when I first kicked all this off, you know, and I hadn't done much in my life like that, but so I was nervous, and I still am. I still am more self-conscious, I guess, than nervous. I guess I've always been that way, just, you know, walking out there in a spotlight on you. I've never, I guess some people love that, you know. I've never felt that comfortable up there, and so yeah.
What do you do? How do you face it? You just do.
Yeah, I guess I've just learned to get through it, and I think with music it's somewhat easier because you know what you're going to be doing. You're singing this song, if you can remember the lyrics, you're doing. It's kind of a routine, but if you had to go up there and just talk, I don't know if I could do it as well.
Yeah, I feel like the music is what brings us all together. You were here to talk a little bit about a recent diagnosis.
Yeah, actually, it's not recent. I've been reluctant to talk about this publicly and to my fans, but it's been a while, and it's starting to affect my performance on stage a little bit, where I don't feel comfortable, and I just wanted the fans and the public to know if they've come to see me in the last few years, or if they come to see me in the future, if I play anymore, what's going on. I don't want them to think I'm drunk on stage, because I'm having problems with mobility and balance, and I have this neuropathy, a neurological disease. It's genetic that I inherited from my daddy. It's called CMT, ironically enough, because CMT was the big part of my career. I made more music videos than anybody in the industry, I think. But anyway, that's the name of it. That's abbreviation for the doctors who discovered it or whatever years ago. But it's a degenerative nerve disease that affects your nerve and muscles in your extremities, your legs and your arms and hands, and it's so it gets worse as it goes along, and there's no cure for it, and they still haven't found. My daddy had it, and we realize now that my grandmother had it on his side, and my oldest sister is 10 years older than me, has it, and she's doesn't get around too good now. But it's been affecting me for years, and it's getting more and more obvious, and I know I'm stumbling around on stage, and now I'm having a little trouble balancing even in front of the microphone, and so I just feel very uncomfortable, and I just want people to know that's why I look like I do, if they're wondering. And I don't want to appear like some whiny celebrity. It's not going to kill me. It's not deadly, but it is related, like muscular dystrophy and Parkinson's disease, but it's not fatal. It's just going to disable me eventually. But my daddy died in his early 70s. He could still walk a little bit, but it is already affecting me tremendously. And again, I don't want to appear like I'm whining about it. I've had a wonderful, beautiful life, and I've been so blessed. I can't even imagine what other people go through. This is not a condition that I would be complaining about typically, but it is going to affect me performance-wise on stage, and I don't know how much I'll continue to tour. I've always thought that I never wanted to do a retirement tour like people do and then take a year off and then come back. I think it's kind of cheesy, but I've always admired some of my heroes that just, Merle Haggard and George and Willie Nelson still playing out there at nearly 90 years old, and Charlie Pride and Loretta, and people just, they never retire. They just play as much as they can and want to, and I always thought I'd like to do that, and I would like to do that if my health will let me do that.
Yeah. But it does not affect your voice, your ability to write. You have a new album out that has some beautiful personal music, so you're still going to put out music.
I think I would like to, yes. I mean, music's always been the most important part of it to me, is the songs. I mean, the songs are what make the artist and make the music and make the fans appreciate it. I think there's a lot of good singers out there, but the songs are the main thing. So hopefully I can continue to write, and I'm not saying I won't be able to tour. I'll try to do as much as I can. So if I'm coming to your town,
we'll come.
Come see me if you want to. But, I don't want people to be sad for me at all. This is just something that, it's part of life. Denise and I have had ups and downs all through our life, and you get through it. We've been so blessed, and we're thankful, and I'll be fine with this. And mainly, I just didn't want people to think I was just drunk up there on stage, stumbling around every night, and that's what's causing me to look this way.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody that doesn't really love the spotlight, how does it feel to say this out loud?
Well, it makes me, in some ways, it's a relief, because I was starting to get so self-conscious up there, about stumbling around, and I just made me nervous up there, trying to keep my balance and not look pitiful. So I think it'll be good for me now to get it out in the open And so if anybody's curious why I don't walk right, that's why.
You know, music is such a healing force, and you have a beautiful song out with your daughter, Maddie. What was it like putting that song out there?
Well, you know, we went through the tough time, you know, with Maddie. Most people know the story that when she got married, her first husband, we had a tragic accident and he died. And so it's been a lot of years of healing and getting through that. Well, Maddie ended up writing a book about it. She's a great writer, and it's just a beautiful story and a faithful story, and a lot about healing. And I think it'll be great for a lot of people to hear. And she wrote, one day she came to me with this piece of paper and said, I wrote this song, the lyrics, you know, and asked me to put it to music. And so I wrote the melody for it, and it turned out to be a very sweet song. It's beautiful, and I guess they're going to include it somehow with her book, where, you know, you can only hear it if you comes with a book or something. I don't really know. But it's a beautiful song, and it was well written for her lyrically, and told her story a little more in there. And so I'm anxious for my fans to get a chance to hear that too.
Mm-hmm. That must have been such a difficult time for your family.
Hardest. We've been through a few things over the years, but you know, to see your child go through that is the hardest thing, because, you know, your daddy always takes care of everything, and you know, I couldn't do much about that. But you know, it's been we've had some time, and it's brought some good things as well as the heartache along with it, and it's really. I think we've had a good opportunity to realize how blessed we've been. You know, when we look at things like that, and it comes along, and you survive, and just thankful.
Mm-hmm. And to watch her heal,
yes.
To watch her grit and resilience, you must be so proud.
Yes, so she's all my children are special in different ways, and Maddie is very, very smart, and she is really. I'm surprised how well she was able to handle all that. I know I couldn't have done what she's done.
You are one of the most legendary. I bet you don't like that word. Somebody that doesn't like the spotlight probably doesn't like it, but you are known for your beautiful songwriting. Is it something you still love to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't sit down every day and write, but, you know, I hear ideas, you know, and I jot them down or make little recordings, so I do. But I think, you know, the best songs usually come from something emotional, or whether it's good or sad. And those things come along, and when they do, it makes you want to sit down and write something. Mm-hmm. And I've had a lot of those instances in my life.
Yeah, your wife suffered with cancer herself.
She did.
And you wrote a beautiful song.
Thank you.
About that experience.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough time as well. Mm-hmm. And yes, I did. And luckily, she got through that, and she's healthy as ever. And I'd say she'll outlive me. But yes, that was a scary time, and I did write that. That song just came out just one day right after you hear that word cancer, you know.
Yeah. And to have 40 years plus of marriage, to have built this family, what are you most proud of?
Oh, I'm just, as far as the marriage goes, I'm proud that we've survived, and I think we've had our ups and downs, and I think now I feel like we're closer than we've ever been, and more comfortable with each other, and happier than we've ever been in these last few years. And of course, my daughters are always at the top of the list to be proud of as far as my personal life. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So this new album, I know you took a little bit of time off when you lost your mom.
Yeah, it was all between Maddie's husband and all that kind of came along at the same time, and I didn't feel like writing for quite a few years or recording. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you didn't feel like writing, and now it feels like it's like years of that heartache or just the time in this new album, or at least that feels that way to me. That may not be like what it feels like to you, but you took some time, and now you have this album, and it seems like it's personal, and one that you probably were waiting to write. Is that how it feels to you?
I don't think that's. I don't know that I had any special vendetta out there or anything. I just, I've always just kind of write and sung and recorded what I love, and at the time, those songs just happened to come out, and I always try to make an album that's a mixture of all different subjects that blend well together. But I guess if anything on this album, I feel a little more freedom now because I'm not trying to worry about getting on radio and fitting into their limitations that they put on you about what you can sing about or play or what it sounds like, and I could just do what I wanted to do. So this was a little more country to me than some early stuff, but some people might not hear that. And I just wrote what I love and about what I love, and I was real proud of it.
And it probably felt good to write again.
It did feel good. I wrote a lot of songs in a short time there, and a lot of them didn't make the album, so there's quite a few more laying around.
There's more to come. What you're saying is there's more to come?
Well, there's always extra ones laying around somewhere, yeah.
Is it true that when you listen to your kids talking and their friends, you get inspiration for some of the more fun, rowdy songs?
Yes, I've had them on just about every album. I think one of my ones that I always think about, even when I'm singing on stage at night, a lot of times it reminds me, I had a song called Good Time, just a fun Friday night song. It was a hit, and I spelled out the words in there on one, the G with an O, O with a D, T with an I, and M and E. And where I got that from was going to my girls' high school basketball and volleyball games for years, and the cheerleaders were cheering out the school, F with the R, R with the A, F-R-A. And, that ended up making that chorus like that, so just always something.
I love that. The inspiration came from a high school basketball game.
Yeah, you never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah. So just to finish up, because I know, thank you for giving me this time, but how, at this stage in your life, how important is music to you?
Well, I mean, it's not as important as it was in my early days. I'll be honest with you. When you're starting out, you got that record deal and you're writing songs and making albums, you're watching that chart and you're consumed with it. That's what most people are, and you like any business, you kind of have to be, dedicate your life to it if you want it to be successful So the first few years you were 100% all the time, and then as my life changed, then my priorities changed some too. Once you had children and you're enjoying life, and I finally had a little money where I could enjoy. I didn't have anything our whole lives, and so it all kind of changed that perspective a little bit. But at the same time, I've always just kept believing that the songs are the important thing. I kept trying to write, and hopefully that's been part of my longevity, is being able to come up with songs.
So you get the joy just in the purity of the music.
I think so. I mean, it's great to be recognized at award shows and all. I mean, I always just cared about the Country Music Awards. That's all I cared about. I wasn't worried about the Grammys or any crazy thing. I just wanted Country Music Awards. That's all I wanted. I wondered if I was going to be on any of them, but and I've been blessed with a lot of awards too. Yes.
Do you think country music is dead or hurting?
Well, I think real country music is really not part of mainstream country music anymore. I mean, and I don't want to sound like an old bitter country singer, but it's a different generation. They like what they like, and the fans like what they do, and there's still some good music out there, but there's really in my opinion, there's no real country music where, I mean, even though the instruments are going away, the steel and the fiddle, and I wrote a song about that on this album, but my song on that album wasn't to condemn what everybody's doing. It was just my love for the music, and my it was like a heartbreak song. It was like a lost love song that I missed that, and that's what I was writing about. But Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great artists out there now, and I just don't think there's any real country music left. I think there are young people, young artists that love that kind of music, and that are wanting to make it and wanting to write it. But and I'm not that up on the business anymore, what happens, but I feel like they're not getting a shot at record labels, or the radio stations won't play real country music anymore. And it's sad because there's a lot of fans out there.
One of my favorite songs, I have to say, is your collaboration with Zach Brown.
It's just music evolves, and I know that. But to me, I mean, I just feel like country music's different. It's American music. It's real. It came from here. It's real music, and it's. I hate to see it start becoming so diluted that it just kind of disappears, the real sound, you know. And that's what I'm afraid's happening to it. And not that there's not good music on country radio. It's just, I just hate to see the real stuff disappear completely, because I think it's a great part of American history. And
So, Denise, you guys have been married for 40 years. What has been the secret to this lasting relationship?
That he's been on the road so much. I don't know. I mean, just take each day as it comes. And we've had a lot of ups and downs, and we're separated very briefly in our marriage about 25 years ago, and just keep plugging away at it. You know, when we married, it was for life, for better or for worse, and we've had a lot of better and a little bit of worse.
And I know you have, you had your own health scare, your battle with cancer, and that must have been a very hard time in your life.
Be healthy, and it was something I never dreamed of. I was 50 years old and perfectly healthy, and
you never even get a cold or anything.
God knows I love her overall. She whispers she loves me, oh memory up here. Ain't your memory got no pride at all? You were here, we love, now you're gone. So why can't you let bygones be bygones and be gone? You always find the wrong time to come around to call. Ain't your memory got no. Remember when.
Not bad. Once again, I need to chop another drink. You guys already knew. At this point, I should get a Diet Pepsi sweatshirt. And I plan to, in due time. I'll leave the lid on. I'll tell you, from going from appetizers to actual dishes, and then basically back to sides / appetizers. These are good, but I definitely prefer like actual meals. I don't prefer biscuits at all. There. No more biscuits stuck in my throat. But, as always, that's another video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I love you all. Peace.